Hello, what's up everyone? Bulls are blue. I'm back at it again with a brand new react video for the Racks and Bulls channel. Why am I fucking musically having ass, bro? Okay. But yeah, today Bulls are blue. I'm doing another NFL video, baby, in terms of a new tier list that has popped up recently in my timeline. Now, obviously this is from the guy Tom Blair, and his top 10 traded players, aka the top players who he thinks will have an impact. Now, I'm gonna go through them real quick and then I'll do a ranking system from all of them, right? So obviously he's got Justin Fields in number 10. He's got Deontay Johnson at number 9. He's got Malik Collins at number 8, Carlton Davis at 7, Hassan Reddick at 6, Snead, I forgot how to pronounce his first name, sorry, number 5, Brian Burns number 4, Jerry Jeudy number 3, Keenan Allen and Stephon Diggs. Now obviously these are the ones that he's put right now, and here's the tier list right here that I have. Okay, so I got 5 different categories for this right here. We got changing the franchise, which is a player that will practically change the trajectory of the franchise and practically even allow them to have a deep playoff run. Like this one, we're practically guaranteed that they would go at least to the second round for the minimum. Then we got make an impact, which this player will be an impact at their position and possibly help the team make the playoffs. Now, third category is a will see, right? Which means like it could go either or depending on how the person plays out. Practically, it's a 50-50 shot practically, where this person could benefit a lot or they could practically throw the season away and they wasted. Now, traded by the deadline. Now this means that the player didn't perform as expected. He performed somewhat okay, but isn't performing at the level that they traded for. So in this case, I believe that they would be traded again. And then last but not least, trade them or release them, which practically means that they're not going to have any impact. They're not gonna develop. They're not gonna play out for the team, and they're better off signing somebody else or trading for somebody else. So yeah, and also just before I continue, I also added Joe Mixon into the mix because out of all these players, yeah, maybe they were the top people that were traded and whatnot, but I think Joe Mixon is kind of important considering his statistics. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. But before we do, leave a like, subscribe, share with a friend, and check out our other videos. Link in the description, baby. Other videos and reactions. We try to post at least twice a week, so hopefully we'll have another video soon. All right, so at first we're gonna go with Justin Fields. Now, obviously, if you don't know, Justin Fields was traded to the Steelers, and he's their QB2 at the moment, behind Russell Wilson. And I'm not gonna lie, with the way he played in college. Now, obviously, this is just me saying, oh, the way he played in college is different from the NFL, obviously. I feel like he could make a run. I think he can make an impact if he gives the opportunity. Now, obviously, here's the thing, right? I think he needs to learn a little bit from Russell Wilson, just because I feel like Russell will help develop him at least a little bit. Do I expect him to play? No, but I think maybe in the future, Fields will probably take over and then become like the franchise QB. I mean, they paid kind of dirt cheap for him, so either way, I believe that Fields could make an impact down the line. Maybe not this season. Could be that Russell takes over and then they make it to the playoffs. Like, it could be like an Alex Smith Mahomes, even though I don't think he'll become a Mahomes, right? But you never know. Like I said, I think this is one of the things that might benefit both Fields and the Steelers. So coming in at number 2, the next guy, Deontay Johnson. Now this guy, he is a really good receiver. He was good. It's just the offense that he was put in was awful. And it sucks because for me as a Steelers fan, I know how good he was. And you know how Steelers, they always develop really good receivers. They always have good receivers. I mean, they always have rotational guys that always seem to benefit. And I ain't gonna lie, I feel like he could make an impact on the team. Now, obviously, this does beg into question because you also got to take into consideration the fact that, you know, you have to deal with the one and only, you know, Carolina Panthers, which it's a shit show right now. We don't know what the fuck Carolina's gonna do. Like, they're kind of still trying to, I guess, find their identity, trying to figure out where they are. I mean, they did lose one of their best defensive players, which is on this list. But I think Deontay Johnson will elevate the receiver group at least and make an impact. Now, do I think he'll help them make the playoffs? No, but I think he'll make enough of an impact on the receiving core that they could probably improve, and he can maybe teach them a thing or two. All right, following that, we got Malik Collins. Now, he was traded from the Texans to the Niners. Yeah, Texans to the Niners, and quite frankly, this guy, he was one of the core pieces for the Texans defense for the past couple of years, and I think he'll end up in the we'll see category. Now, here's the thing: Malik Collins could prove me wrong here, right? But he's not really considered one of the interior linemen of the group of the defensive tackles that have been. Now, obviously, it's kind of difficult to say that because you got guys like Aaron Donald, who recently retired. We have guys like I was gonna say Fatu. Vita Vea, that's who I was talking about. Vita Vea, Dexter Lawrence in New York. Like, you got a lot of great defensive interior talent in the NFL right now. And, well, Malik is also he's 29. So he's getting to that age where he's like either at his peak, reaching at his full potential peak, or he's about to start crashing down. Now, not to say that he could be added to do more damage for the 49ers line, to say the least, because I mean, he's with one of the Bosas, and I don't know if they signed Chase Young, could be wrong, but he could be vital. I mean, he does tend to do really good in the playoffs and does create a couple sacks here and there, so I'm gonna put him in the we'll see category. Now, Carlton Davis, he was a DB with the Lions, and quite frankly, I don't know. Obviously, he's not going to be a change of franchise guy. I think he's going to be like a we'll see again. Here's the thing, right? He's not, I think if I remember correctly, when I saw his ranking, according to ESPN, FPS, no, Pro Football Focus. Yeah, there we go. Pro Football Focus. He was like in the middle of the pack type of receiver. And to be honest, he could bring in like that veteran presence. Like, he is kind of young. If I remember correctly, he was... Also, I realized I made a mistake, and he's actually going to the Lions. So, like, so that kind of changes a little bit. He's in the middle of the pack, but I think he's currently listed as, like, the top DB. And he's 27, so he's probably going to be in his prime. And he could benefit a Detroit team who practically has been going to the playoffs. And, you know, defense is one of their strong suits. So, yeah, I think this would be a we'll see situation. Because I mean, the DB chart in Detroit, it's all right. If I remember correctly, Akeem Robinson, fucking Mosley, and I think they also got Stephon Gilmore as well. So that might be beneficial, you know, for that type of rotation. So yeah, we'll see about that. Okay, so now we go into Hassan Reddick, who was traded from the Eagles to the Jets. Now, the Jets, oh boy, they're a clusterfuck of a team because literally their quarterback Aaron Rodgers died, practically, not really died, his Achilles fucking tore and kind of just messed everything up after that. But their defense, if I remember correctly, they were pretty solid for quite a large majority of the seasons. And quite frankly, Hassan Reddick is also going into a team of defensive players who are pretty good. I mean, he's going with Kinlaw, Williams, and I think if I remember correctly, his son's considered to be the starter, so I think he'll probably be making an impact. Now, depending where, I think he'll be above Deontay Johnson. I think Hassan Reddick will be more of an impact player than Deontay Johnson. I think Hassan Reddick will probably add more fuel to the defensive line that the Jets currently have, and quite frankly, I think that they could, with Hassan Reddick there, they can make a great run in a very stacked AFC East run. Because I mean, if you don't remember, right, the AFC East is the Patriots, the Dolphins, Jets, and the Bills. One of them nearly made it to the Super Bowl. One of them was literally, well, their QB kind of got messed up and they couldn't score, right? Well, Patriots are the Patriots, and obviously the Jets, like, their QB got wrecked. They couldn't do anything after that because, you know, you kind of need a QB to move the ball around besides running back, obviously. So, yeah, I think Hassan Reddick will be more of an impact player after all of that. Now, the next player we're going to talk about is Ladarius Sneed. He's the DB who was traded from the Chiefs to the Titans. If I remember correctly, I think Sneed will probably, yeah, he was a starter. So I think he'll probably be a starter again in Tennessee. If I remember correctly, I think he's going to be with Amani Hooker and Awuzie, which, by the way, Awuzie was a really good DB when he was with the Bengals. Now, obviously, Sneed coming into a situation where Tennessee is still trying to figure out an identity, right? They're trying to figure out what they're trying to do. And it's a 50-50, right? Because here's the thing. I think Sneed could make an impact. However, I also do believe that because of the current team structure, they might not make a deep playoff run, especially with the AFC South having the Texans kind of take over the whole thing. The Indianapolis Colts are right behind them, and then Jacksonville is Jacksonville. They're kind of flip-flop. Like I said, in reality, you could probably make the argument that maybe Tennessee could be the second best team in the AFC South, but then you could also make the argument they could be the last one. Now, you know what? I'm gonna be a little bit generous because obviously he's been in high tense situations, and I'm gonna be honest. I think here's the thing, right? I think he belongs here, and you know what? Low key, I want to be low key. Nah, you know what? We'll put it on the top of we'll see. We'll put it on the top of we'll see because I think he could actually help benefit the DB depth chart that they have over there and actually push them further. I mean, I think he can make a couple critical plays when it comes to the playoffs and whatnot. And if I remember a couple of his Super Bowl matchups, he was kind of dominant in some. Obviously, you know, some better than others, but we'll have to figure out and see. So now we got Brian Burns, who got traded to New York. Oh, good old New York. The worst stadium of all time. And also to kind of add on to that, New York is the second worst team in the NFC East besides the Commanders. Like, if we're gonna put it in order, you could flip the Cowboys and Eagles. You could flip those two aside, but then you got, I think it's Giants and then Commanders at the bottom. Brian Burns is kind of in a situation where the only star player they practically got is Dexter Lawrence, and that's about it. I mean, they do have the draft pick they got a couple of years ago, who got picked, I think, right after the dude from Michigan that got drafted by the Lions. Right, it was Hutchinson. I remember. Okay, now that I looked at it, right, I remember. I think he'll definitely be a player that will be starting for majority of the season. I think he'll probably be like right here in the we'll see category. Like, no joke, I feel like he might make a little impact, but like, even though he was the Panthers' strongest player per se, it's kind of, you know, like, it's like saying, oh, you're the best player in the worst team. So even though Brian Burns could probably prove my ass wrong, yeah, he should be out of here. Now, Jerry Jeudy. Maybe it's because he was in Denver, but I think he's going to be traded by the deadline. And here's the thing, right? It's not that I don't trust his ability, but it's kind of difficult to kind of gauge where he's at. Like, all the games he's playing, you could probably argue like, oh, he's had bad QB play, he's had terrible QBs. Now he's going with a QB room that's somewhat competent with Watson and Winston. There we go. And you could be like, oh, you could prove me wrong, but I think because the Browns are also like in that position where they could either be one of the best teams or the worst teams in the AFC North. Like, here's my also my other hot take, which I don't think is really hot. I think in the AFC North, I feel like all of them could make the playoffs if it really could happen. If there was a whole division, right? If there's a whole division that can make it, it would be the AFC North, and they would be competitive too. See, with Jerry Jeudy, I know he has ability and all, but I don't think he's gonna be that much of an impact. I think it'd be better if they traded him during the deadline, maybe get something extra. Before we get to the top two, I'm gonna do Joe Mixon real quick. Obviously, Joe Mixon with the Texans, and I'm not gonna lie. Oh, he's not gonna go there. Sorry, I didn't mean to put him there. My apologies. I didn't mean to put him there. Joe Mixon is going to the Texans. I'm not gonna lie to you. Joe Mixon is a productive motherfucker. He's only 27 too, so he's still got a few good years left in him. And also, he got traded to the Texans, which one of these guys also here got traded to the Texans, which we'll come back to right now. In terms of Joe Mixon, though, right? Obviously, the Texans also have. I think they still have Tank Dell as well. That's a running back. And I think Joe Mixon will also add to the impact of the team. And I'm not gonna lie to you, if we're talking about medium impact, I think he'll be top. He'll be top. Because here's the thing, right? He's had quite a few 1,000-yard seasons. I mean, throughout his whole career, if I remember correctly, I think he's had about 6,000 yards in his 6-7 year career now, which ain't that bad, to be honest. I mean, he's like 4K from what you call 10K at least, which, I mean, it's kind of productive as it is. I think he'll probably make a greater impact than all these other players here, right? Obviously, I'm not gonna put him up here because I think that'd be too generous. I think that's too generous for it. Now, obviously, like I said, I think he'll largely improve the running back room, and I think he'll push them to a deep playoff run with his type of running. Now, obviously, that also kind of falls on the line of like, if their line is good, if the offense starts clicking together, because obviously chemistry is a big thing. So let's see. Keenan Allen traded from the Chargers to the Bears. So again, Keenan Allen, he's in the league for a while. I think his age is like 32, and he's kind of he's gonna be the veteran presence now. I'm not sure if he's gonna be receiver one. Actually, who are the only receiver I can think of for the Bears? Sorry for the disrespect for any of you Bear fans. Is Komet. I think they signed Komet, and then they also drafted that receiver from Washington, Odunze, I think his name was. It kind of sucks. Like I said, Keenan Allen's pretty good at what he does, and also, if I remember correctly, he recently, I think he had either his best season or his second best season in terms of yards. So I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, to be fair, when you have someone like Justin Herbert and Philip Rivers throwing at you, it's kind of you might want to get some big numbers, you know, because he's 32. I know they'll keep him around, but I also feel like they'd probably trade him. Obviously, this is like disrespectful if I put him here, because obviously I'm not gonna put him down here. Because obviously, seriously, I know he's gonna be. You know what? If he's gonna be at the bottom of this, why would I put him up here? Or you know what? Actually, I think I'm gonna put him in traded by deadline. Actually, no, because I feel like okay. You know what? Maybe Caleb will because here's the thing: it's a rookie quarterback. Rookie quarterbacks don't usually do good in their first seasons. Usually, right? Obviously, this could prove my ass wrong. But I think traded by a deadline might be a good one to put him at, because him being 32, he might be productive. Who knows? Maybe he could have like a Larry Fitzgerald type of season, or like a Jerry Rice type of season, right? Where him and Caleb connect really well. Obviously, it's kind of difficult to build or I don't know. Maybe it's not difficult to build a bond that strong in one off season. That's kind of hard. I don't know, because he's the only like good receiver in the depth chart besides like Odunze. Odunze is a pretty good receiver, but obviously he's also a rookie. He really got drafted this year, so I guess we'll have to see the impact. But I think if they start tanking, maybe Keenan Allen will just get out of there. Right? And last but not least, Stephon Diggs, the man who was practically the #1 guy in the Buffalo Bills locker room, in the receiver room. it's crazy because he literally got traded from one high profile team, which was the Vikings, to the Bills, another high profile team, which was like Super Bowl caliber, to actually I shouldn't go from it. So he went from the Vikings to the Bills, and then now he's with the Texans. All three of which were Super Bowl caliber teams. Now, obviously, I'm not going to say that the receiver is the problem. It's kind of, you know, circumstances. I mean, it's that thing where you kind of have to go through a lot of good teams, especially in the AFC. I mean, shit, you had to go against teams like Baltimore. You had to go against teams like the Steelers. The Chiefs obviously are one of the biggest obstacles in the whole AFC, and obviously the Texans now with their rise, they could have a down year though. But in terms of what I think Diggs could bring, because I'm gonna be honest, what is their receiving room look like? No, not there. Hold on, let me think. I remember the receiving room, they had quite a few players that actually did pretty well. They got guys like Nico Collins, Robert Woods, who is a bit of an underrated guy. Personally, I'm not gonna make Hall of Fame, but like underrated, right? And well, I mislabeled him, but Tank Dell is a receiver. Sorry about that. And obviously you got Stephon Diggs. Now here's the thing, right? He is a high caliber type of receiver, right? He is pretty good at what he does. This comes into play. Could he be a franchise changer, or will he be make it? I think he's more in the realm of possibility of here. He is older, but I think he still could be a really good receiver. Where would I put this guy? Where would I put Stephon Diggs in this situation? Because quite frankly, it's difficult to say. Because I'm also thinking about their current quarterback as well, which, I mean, he's proven to be pretty good for the most part. Okay, Stephon Diggs is 30, so he's practically going to be at the ends of his like prime soon. I think he might get another 1,000-yard season out of the Texans. Like, I think the Texans will get another 1,000-yard season out of him. I think he'll hit double digits. So in terms of where I'd put him, I think he's gonna be making an impact. The reason I'm not putting him up here is because I don't think he's a player that could alter a franchise that well. Like, Diggs himself is a key piece that could practically change the receiver room core, but I don't think him himself would change the franchise that quickly. Now, I could be wrong. He could just have a random dominant season this year when he gets like 1,500 yards, he gets 15 touchdowns or more, and just blazes through shit. And it could be like one of the best receiver seasons in recent memory, but I don't think he's gonna be that high. I think he'll be more of an impact than Joe Mixon and all these other guys, but I don't think he's gonna be a change of franchise type of guy. So this is my list right here. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments below. If you want, let me zoom in so you guys could see that again. If you disagree with some of these takes, let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you would change anything about any of these picks. If you fucking criticize me, I don't care, do it. Let me know where you think I'm wrong, if I am wrong, or tell me why you agree with me. It helps a lot, trust me. And that'll be my list. Yeah, so like I said, I'll probably be doing more videos like this for the channel soon. Probably do my own list here and there and whatnot. Maybe even do a ranking system of each division to determine who would probably where they would rank. Maybe if that's something you want to see. But yeah, like I said, if you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, share with a friend. I'll be back another day with another video for the Racks and Bulls channel. Thank you so much for checking it out, and also check out the links in the description, baby, to my personal channel, where Bulls Are Blue, and also check out my co-host, the Raxner47, right here, and his channel. He recently hit 150 something subs. He might be 160 right now. So go check it out. Him and I make a lot of gaming content over there. It's pretty fun, pretty enjoyable. It's something to have in the background, you know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye bye. God bless.